All right, welcome back to Thriving Teen Tuesday. You haven't been watching, you're supposed to TTT.
Oh, TTT.
Thriving Teen Tuesday. We are back. Last week we had a lot of things going on, so we did not have a segment, but we are back this week. And our topic for today is beige flags. Personally, I didn't know what beige flags were. I didn't even know that was a thing. I thought it was just red flags. But then my niece was telling me that there's something called beige flags. So I was like, okay, let me look into it. What are beige flags? And so I looked and I was like, just some things that your friends could do that could potentially lead to a red flag if they don't fix it. Or some things that could cause you to pause and reevaluate your relationship. Or some things that should cause you to pause to evaluate your relationship and figure out, is this worth working on or not working on it? So, my lovely guest, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. It's Helen, a.k.a. Mama Cash.
Mama Cash, but she don't ever give me money. I don't know who gave her that name. Somebody please let me know. Because she don't give me any cash. You got some cash on you right now?
Not right now.
Today, see, look.
We're in a recession.
We're in a recession? So if you guys need some cash, hit up Mama Cash. She ain't gonna give you $1, not a penny. Okay, just saying. Yeah. So do you believe in beige flags?
So I also didn't know what beige flags was, but then again, for me, I guess it depends on what the person has really done to me. I would say somewhat 90% of the time no.
Okay.
Because I feel like if I see a lot of red flags or you do something to me.
But it's not red flags.
I mean, I feel like if you do something to me that, I feel like if you and I are very close, our relationship is very close, and you feel you don't really trust me enough to tell me something or you do something to me, then that means I don't matter to you, right? I'm not as important to you. So
okay.
I give up people a lot of chances before, if I'm gonna pull away from them or because I believe in second chances. But if I have to assess the situation, and if it's something that I feel like it's very critical, or I'll probably pull back from the individual. That's how I see things. Others are different, but that's just me.
For me, beige flags. I want to say that I believe in beige flags because, like you said, I do give second chances and sometimes thirds. You may never get a fourth, but I do believe in second and third-ish chances. The third, you just on the line, so you may not get the full chance. You may get a half a chance.
Right.
Just saying. So I do think maybe I didn't title it as a beige flag and working on it, but I do believe in second chances and people being able to grow and develop and things like that. Right. So, as a friend of yours, what are some things that I would do that would constitute as a borderline time to evaluate our relationship?
I guess it depends on how close we are as well. If I'm not that close with you, then it's not really a big deal to me. If I'm not that close with you, then
bye.
It is what it is. But if I'm very close with you and you're like a sister or a brother to me, then like I said, for me, I would need to really evaluate, does this thing really hurt me, or it's something that I felt like we could just have quickly talked about it.
So let's say you have a friend, right? And you guys have a same circle of friends, and the person starts doing something that's kind of shady, they're talking about somebody or they're treating somebody else pretty bad.
Right.
Would that, since they're not doing it directly to you, would that affect your relationship with them?
If we're all a close knit group of people, I mean. If you're talking about me, then obviously you can do the same. If you're talking about somebody, then you can do the same to me.
That's true.
I mean, so I think it's very critical that I would. I mean, for me, we're all humans, and it depends on the relationship you have with that individual. Like I said, so if you feel like the person can do it to you, then obviously you need to question, that person and why they're even in your life in the first place. Right. So yeah, right. I think that's how I see it. Yeah, for me.
Yeah, I would definitely say the same. I would definitely recommend, if possible, to approach the person and let them know, I don't like the way you're doing this. And then be able to navigate that better and recognize that as much as you may think this is cool, it's not cool to me. And I wouldn't want you to do it to me, as you mentioned. And for us to maintain friendship, I want my close circle of friends to be a representative. Because, they say birds of a feather. So it's like, I'm not trying to be associated with somebody who just be doing so many things that I don't personally agree with. Right. So we need to check to make sure we're in alignment in order to be able to proceed and progress.
Exactly. Yeah. I agree with that.
Okay. So as a teenager, our audience is teenagers. Yeah. So as a teenager, what are some advice that you would give to picking friends, long-lasting friends, things of that nature? What would be some advice if you could give 3 or 4 key?
Okay. For teenagers, right?
Yes.
Okay. Number 1, school's important.
Forget about friends. You don't need friends.
I guess I would say maybe your beliefs are also important, like when picking friends, or I guess that's the question, right?
Yeah.
If you are in a circle of people that are not in the same belief system as you, you need to be sure, like when you're picking your friends, you evaluate that. Okay, this person that I'm picking, are they? Do they believe in the same lifestyle that I live? Religion. Basically everything. So number 1, it's very important to recognize or know pick friends that have kind of the same belief system as you, similar. What else? You have to give me examples.
I want you to give me examples. Okay,
help out.
So what I would ask, so what if they don't have the same beliefs as you? They can't be your friend?
I mean, they could be your friend. I don't think sometimes it's not good to impose your belief on others.
Right.
You can share, but it's not good to impose. Because I do have friends that are not in the same belief system as me.
Okay.
It's just like, and probably like, I kind of maybe bond with them more than the ones that probably I have the same belief system.
Really?
Right, yeah. But I think it's more of you as a human being, the traits that you have also. I want to have friends that are kind of kind like me, outgoing like me. It's just kind of
very outgoing. She always outside.
And not that I'm outside.
She's inside outside.
But like kind of like have like the same belief system. Like it's kind of the same traits as me. And basically, I would say mindset as well, because I feel like if I'm into a certain thing and my friend is not really into that same thing, I feel like sometimes the connection is not there. So everyone is different though. People don't have that, but for me, I think that's also one of the important things. But then also, I always go back to personality traits, right? Because you always want to have people who are kind, generous,
Yes.
Don't want to be have friends that are rude or
selfish.
Keyword selfish.
Selfish.
So very important to when we're picking friends, like assess yourself within, and then also that will help you to be able to choose the correct.
And also assess while you maybe have picked or evaluating whatever. Also evaluate yourself. Like when I'm with this person, can I be myself? Like I'm not all the way serious all the time. Am I allowed to be goofy around this person, or do I feel like I have to act like a different person? And sometimes you may not even realize that you act like a different person, but somebody will tell you that you acting different.
You act different,
right? And then because you even see, when sometimes people pick up the phone and their voice is completely different. I don't know how people do that, but it's a thing. And it's just like making sure that you're staying true, because as a teenager, you're growing, you're developing. It's so easy to be influenced.
Yeah.
And so easy to like go with the crowd, and you want to be in and all of that stuff, and we get it. But just make sure that you are growing yourself and developing. Not saying that you can't see something that somebody is doing and think is nice and want to copy or mimic. If it's a good thing, sure. But just be mindful of what you are copying, what you're mimicking, what you're idolizing, what you're looking up to make sure that it's in alignment with who you are and who you want to be.
Right.
Because otherwise, you might turn around and be sitting at our age and be thinking, man, I messed up my childhood.
Yeah.
Or I didn't get to enjoy my childhood because I was busy following the wrong crowd and all of those things. And a lot of times people don't tell you some of the negatives that comes with following the wrong crowd from a personal perspective. Like your parent might be like, oh, don't do that, this is going to happen to you. But it's not from a true perspective of somebody who's walked in those shoes. So we're definitely bidding to you to be able to evaluate. Sometimes a lot of decisions that we make that are wrong, we didn't make them on our own.
Right. Friends.
Somebody
family.
Influenced you. Yeah,
Somebody.
Sometimes it's family. Somebody influenced you to make that decision, and it wasn't a great decision. So please be mindful of your circle. A lot of this conversations and stuff that we're going to be having on this platform is to prepare you for real life situations and to make sure that you're not putting yourself in situations where you're going to turn back in 5-10 years from now and be like, had I known, shoulda, coulda, woulda. Yeah. If you had to speak to a younger Helen, what advice would you give her?
Regarding
friendships.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I guess growing up, I really didn't have much friends, I would say.
Okay. Why is that?
I don't know. Maybe it's probably because of the area I grew up in or stuff like that. Maybe, but and then but I didn't have a lot of friends. But my friends were also people that really kind of were not really similar to me. It was more of like just associate, go ahead, school, go on like events, come back home. I was mostly by myself, but I think in my college years, that's when I started. I was more outgoing. And
she was outside.
I started outgoing, meaning like open to friends, and I built a lot of good relationships. Yes. From there, I would say my longest lasting relationship, a friend group, has been over 10 years, right? And I think, like I said, I've been saying, it's just understanding each other and learning about your friends. One thing about me, going back to your question of what would I say, and regarding like friendships, more of like study more about the people you hang with. If there's a certain pace or a place you want to be in life, you really need to be sure to pick a group of people that will push you more, encourage you more, to do better, basically. Yes. So I think sometimes like we get relaxed amongst the people that we're around or hang with. If your group is if your friends back in high school were just relaxed people, or like they really didn't care about a lot, studying and all that, you probably end up being the same person, right? But if you're hanging out with like a group of people who are really focused, really want to do best, go to college, blah blah blah, definitely it will push you more. So I guess for me it'd be more like back then hanging out with like people who are more focused and knew what they want earlier, like in life, not only about working and making money. Yes. I've had that mindset since I was little. Since I was a teenager, it's always about money.
Hence the reason why her name is Mama Cash.
So like, I think if I had that more back then, probably change that a bit more, like, having more friends, not only about money, but like,
that's a good point.
Learning more in regards to growth in life, like leadership skills, communication skills, like, all that type of thing. So, I think that's the thing.
I like that
Yeah.
a lot. I like that a lot. I feel like for me, speaking to a younger Mabel, I guess I'm still quiet, but I was quite introverted and tomboyish. So a lot of my friends were guys, and I always had one best friend who was a female, and I think maybe at one point I had two best friends, but for the most part I always had like one. And to be honest, like these people, although I don't see them and talk to them or whatever, but when you pick up the phone or you see them, it's like nothing ever happened. And so, and I mean, due to time and distance and stuff like that, we're no longer best friends, but not because we had a falling out, but because, you know, moved to a whole nother country and all those things.
You grow up.
But yeah, but the love is still there. But speaking to a younger Mabel, what I would say to her was to allow myself to be more confident in friendships. Because a lot of times I would say and do certain things and I would feel like, is this person judging me? Like I was concerned about what other people thought of me. I was concerned about the way I presented myself and all of those things. And I was confident in the way I would say certain things, but I wasn't confident in the feedback and the responses that I would get. I would get it and then I would kind of like take it to heart type of thing. But never wavering in what I meant to say. But it's just like, I was just taking on so many people's opinions of me. And then a lot of times it starts to down your voice and stuff like that. And then it got to a point where I was like, I'm not actually expressing myself in the way that I want to express myself. And it affected my circle because it's like you're around, especially when you're around a circle of loudmouths. Yeah. It's very hard for your voice to be heard. Yeah, because everybody is just, my opinion is this and and then, you know, always feeling like you're not good enough. Right. Because you hear about all these people, they like, oh, when I grow up, I want to be this. I want to be a doctor. I want to be this. And you're like, well, I don't want to do any of those things. Right? I wanted to be an architect or an interior designer growing up. And my mom was like, you know, we got to talk about that, parents. Be changing our dreams. But my mom wanted me to do something in the medical field. So I ended up going into nursing. But it's literally like, that's what I wanted to do. Yeah. And everybody else wanted to do something in the medical or something. And my mom would always be like using that against me. Oh, your friend wants to do this. So why don't you want to do this? And it's like, oh, okay. I mean, like, whatever. But not being, you know, back in the day, parenting was different. Yeah. Very. It was not flexible. Parents now, we are very flexible.
There's no cool mom squad.
Yes, there was no cool mom. Like, everybody's parent was like, crazy. Not crazy, but you know what I'm saying. I'm sure you guys would think that your parents are like that now, but I promise you, our parents were not like your parents. That's all I'm saying. We love our parents, by the way. Both of us, we love them. Yeah. They're excellent. All right, Mom, love you. We love you. But I feel like it downs your light, your person when you're not confident. Yeah. So advice for a younger me would be to be more sure and more confident in myself and my abilities. Because to be honest, when I look at the circle that I was rolling with, and I look at some of the things that they were doing now, they didn't do anything they said they were gonna do. Yo,
usually that's what happens though.
None of them did. Okay, maybe one person. The rest of them did not do the field that they wanted to do. They did something completely different. Yeah. Most of them are teachers. Oh wow! And I'm like, teachers don't even make money. What? And that was the thing that my mom was using against me. Oh, you want to be an interior designer? People can decorate their house themselves. Now people making money.
A lot of money.
I'm just saying.
I don't have.
So don't like put yourself in comparison with somebody else and feel like because you want to make money, like you said. Because sometimes we pick careers based on what can make me the most money versus what can make me happy. So we're not talking about careers, but in general, just making sure that your circle and your friends and stuff like that is in alignment with what you want to be. And beige flag wise, when you see it, don't ignore it. There's a reason why you paused, right? So you saw something that a person is doing and you're kind of like, don't think, oh, it's no big deal. It's a big deal. You thought about it, you saw it. Even if you don't speak to the person, because you need to process it, that's fine. You process it and find out, is this something that I'm in alignment with, I'm in agreement with? Is this something that I can tolerate for this much longer? Because a lot of times, if it's a one-off thing, we can let it go.
Yeah.
But if it's like a continuous thing, we can't. So think about it in that light. If this was a continuous thing, is this something that I would be okay with? And if it's not, you should have a conversation with that person.
I mean, if for the first time it bothers you, I think you should still.
You should definitely, with
the individual, because sometimes people are not aware. I think one thing we assume like the person knows that this what they did to me, but I think we're human. Sometimes we forget, or we don't really take a look at around us, or understand the people that we hang with. So like I said, it's very important if you speak to the person about it rather than just be quiet and continue to look at it for
look at it and be miserable,
right? Because I have some friends that if I do something to them, they'll tell me like, the way you spoke to me, I don't like it. And I think those friends are the ones that I've been able to be friends with them over 10 years, right? Because we're able to like let each other know when someone offends somebody, or just like we'll let you know, like, okay,
that's good.
It wasn't what you did. I really didn't like it, and then I would know moving forward, blah blah blah, not to do this or this to them.
So communicate it.
Communicate. It's very very important. I think if you really care about your friendships and the people, sometimes like give them the benefit of the doubt and reach out to them and have that discussion with them. And if it continues, then like, okay, this
is a red flag. Red flags, you already know what to do with red flags.
Then this person is just their character, and they're not gonna change. So, and it's not your job to change people. Exactly.
It's your job to let them know, what you're doing I don't like, but you can't physically change somebody. They have to be willing and wanting to change. And change, remember, does not happen overnight. It's a progress, a continuous effort. So don't think I told you this and the person is supposed to change like that. It's going to take them some time. So give them grace in that aspect, but also have a boundary of, okay, like it's been like 3 months now. You tripping. Like, come on, be for real. So that's what we have for beige flags. Did you have any final? No? Okay. So that's all we have for beige flags. We ask that you be intentional in your relationships, communicates with those around you. Make sure that the circle that you're picking is in alignment with what you want for your life. Don't compare yourself to others. Don't let other people dim your light. And whatever it is, communicate it. Give grace, but also have boundary as to what I can and cannot tolerate.
Exactly.
Definitely important. And I feel like those things will help you to become better in your relationships. It'll help you to thrive. It'll help you to grow and all of those things. And these are things that will carry forward as you grow and develop to older age and stuff like that. This is not like a one-time advice. This is something that a continuous application to your life. So thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.
Thank you to my lovely Mama Cash. So can I get some $1?
Not today, next week.
Thank you to Mama Cash. In fact, you may not even call me Mama Cash. Thank you to Helen for joining me today on Thriving Teen Tuesday. I appreciate having you. And we will see you next week.
Yes.
All right.